Uh-oh. Don't look now, BASS, but a bunch of your anglers are fishing the NPFL Tour this year. How did that happen? During bass fishing's golden age, pros from BASS would regularly cross over to fish FLW events. If a pro wanted to, they could literally fish twice as many big-time events, and many of them did. It was a lot of fun to watch guys go from one tour to the next to compete against an entirely different group of anglers. Recently, we haven't seen this. The organizations will tell you they don't do it on purpose, but we surely don't see them meeting in an organizational summit each year to determine who gets what weeks for their tour events. It just doesn't happen. In fact, if anything, they seem to try and schedule on top of each other. Now, they say they don't do that, but I know what I see. They're certainly not trying to avoid that. It's like they don't want to acknowledge that the other side exists, which is kind of silly to me. No, what we see instead are the organizations scheduling events on top of each other, making it nearly impossible for a pro to fish both the BASS Elite Series and Major League Fishing's Bass Pro Tour, assuming they could qualify for each. Ducket Fishing's Sway Minnow System. How's your jig head minnow game? Introducing Ducket Fishing's Sway Minnow System. Not just a bait, an entire fishing system. Perfectly balanced jig heads in several fish catching sizes, matched up with the most realistic looking winged minnow baits that you've ever seen. With multiple size baits and jig head weights, you'll be able to figure out the perfect presentation. Check out the Ducket Fishing Sway Minnow System by going to ducketfishing.com. The anglers aren't the property of the tour organizations. They are independent contractors. Still, the organizations make it impossible for anglers to fish multiple tours because of scheduling. Some have tried recently. John Cox, you might remember, qualified for the BASS Elite Series and also the Bass Pro Tour. How impossible is it to do that? And yet John Cox did that. Ultimately, though, events that were scheduled on top of each other made it impossible for him to do both. Keith Poche is another pro that made a run at doing both. Do you remember when Poche won that Cherokee Lake Bass Pro Tour event the same week that he was fishing the Bass Master Classic? That was really a wild week for him, for the bass fishing world, really. Why can't the organizations meet at, say, ICAST every year, set out their dates, and allow anglers that want to fish both tours and can qualify for them to do it? Reason number 15 why your next boat should be a Camus. Our high-speed live well pickup. Fish mortality is a big deal on today's tournament trails. Introducing Camus's high-speed live well pickup. Now you can take great relief knowing that as you fly down the lake, your precious cargo will be getting fresh water to make sure they are healthy for the weigh-in scales. Build your next boat by going to camusboats.com. Well, don't look now, but the NPFL, the National Professional Fishing League, saw an opening. They set their schedule up for this year so as not to compete with other organizations. And what do you know? Anglers have crossed over to fish these events. Check these names out. You recognize them. Justin Atkins, Scott Canterbury, Hank Cherry, Jason Christie, Brandon Cobb, Drew Cook, John Cox, Buddy Gross, Greg Hackney, Matt Herron. Now, Matt Herron, he just flat out quit the Elite Series. He got tired of all the fuckery that was going on, and he just quit and went to the NPFL for good. But Caleb Kupfel, Shane LaHoo, Wes Logan, Bill Lowen, KJ Queen, Gerald Swindle, Patrick Walters, Kyle Welcher, Tyler Williams, and Jason Williams have all crossed over this year to fish NPFL events. 20 BASS Elite Series pros are also fishing the NPFL this season, and I love it. Zach Burge of the Bass Pro Tour is also fishing the NPFL this season. It's good stuff. Kudos to the NPFL for having a tour that is angler-friendly. Thank you for offering an alternative for professional anglers that want to fish professional events. What a concept, right? And hats off to the pros who want to fish as many pro events as they can. It's all good. I'm Keith Neiswanger. This is the Bass Tour Anglers Podcast. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you'd like to reach us, please send us a direct message on Instagram at Bass Tour Anglers Podcast. Take care. Be safe. We'll talk to you next time.